Today, we bring back the sketchbook. I know it's barely been 2 videos since you last saw it, but we're bringing it back. But before we start, I'm gonna give you some nice sketchbook ASMR. Okay, yeah, enough of that. I like doing that. Anyway, oh yeah, by the way, I didn't clean my desk since the house thingy. So it's still messy, but today, since the sketchbook is here, you won't actually see it, which is lucky. So today, take a new page. And basically today's idea, I'm gonna make a cityscape, which I actually haven't made I haven't made a cityscape, like a proper one, in 5 years. That's kind of a long time. I mean, I'm not that old, and 5 years is a fairly long time. So I haven't painted, whatever. I haven't made a cityscape in a very long time, and I figured, you know, it's time to do that. And I also have seen these really cool, like, neon, nighttime Japanese cities. I think it's called a cyberpunk city, I'm not quite sure. But I really like the reference pictures that I've seen. Like, at one point, my Pinterest feed literally was just filled with cities like those. So I'm like, you know, I think Pinterest is telling me, and then a couple of friends told me, and then I saw myself, and I'm like, you know, it's about time I did one. So, here we are today. I'll just get the basic sketch done and stuff, and then I will see you guys once that's done. So, this was sketch number 1. This was try number 1, attempt number 1. Since I hadn't done a city drawing or painting or anything of the sort in over half a decade, I needed a bit of practice. This wasn't actually intentionally a practice piece, it just became one. And not really practice, more disaster, because the colors didn't come out right. The complete angle sketch honestly wasn't detailed enough for me to do it properly, so I did end up doing another one. If you're here watching this as a tutorial, I'm gonna put a timestamp here for when my actual proper illustration starts, and you can go check forward into that and watch that. If you're here to see me struggle, please go ahead and watch. You're mean if you're still around, honestly. If you're still here, you're mean. Anyway, the problem was basically number 1, not a detailed enough sketch. Number 2 was my paint wasn't opaque enough and I had to do multiple layers. Number 3, the color scheme was a bit off, so I should have decided on a proper color scheme. I should have stuck with either pinks and oranges or just blue or a red color scheme. I tried to just do all the colors together, which didn't go so well. That's a lesson for anyone who's here for learning lessons. So, lesson number 1, decide a color scheme. Lesson number 2, have a good detailed sketch. Lesson number 3, maybe don't use paint for detailed stuff. That doesn't go so well. Lesson number 4, wait for paint to dry, which was also a bit of a problem with me. So because of all of these different things that I learned from this piece, my next piece was a lot better. So this time I made a very detailed sketch, like very detailed, nicely. I tried to record it, but then I realized I was taking so long that I just did it off camera. A perfectly detailed sketch with everything drawn out, and also the sky this time was more my kind of sky. I don't really do night sky, I do more sunsetty skies. So this was the only part of the picture I did with paint, by the way, just the sky, because it's a larger area and markers don't really blend that well. Markers aren't really meant for skies, as you know, sunset kind. So I just did some clouds with light blue, and then after that I went on with a little bit of white and some orange neon colors. I like those. If you don't have that, it's fine, you can just go with some orange and mix that with white, make a pastel version. Some light pinks and stuff, just to build up colors. See my hand randomly just stuck in the middle of the screen. The video is not funny, it's just I was looking at my reference picture, so my hand was very still. I did make the reflection of the sky and some windows to make it look a little bit more natural. Obviously the end piece did look animated and cartoony because I wasn't going for a realistic style, but because I went with a completely different medium, one that I don't use very often. Markers, alcohol markers, much better for precision, much better for more like, you know, crisp lines. And I was about to say oceans. Cities are very like angular, sharp-edged buildings, so obviously markers was the way to go, not paint, like we written this before. Paint does not go well. Markers are also giving me more vibrant, brighter colors. I honestly shouldn't have emptied the pouch out like that and then I had to clear them all up, which is kind of annoying, but it's fine. Watching a marker drawing time-lapse is kind of fun, even if it's my own drawing. This city, I had one reference picture for this piece. I found a photographer, I don't remember the photographer. It was like a proper photograph of a real Japanese city, I'm assuming. And that's what I could tell. And I just drew that directly from the image, which made it a lot easier. I didn't copy the color scheme. The colors I did my own thing, but the drawing itself I made from a single picture, which made it so much easier and it was just a lot more composed, I would say. I didn't pick different pieces from different places and put it into one. Doing that did get slightly confusing. And for something new, it's best to stick with like a proper reference picture. If you want to challenge yourself, go ahead. I'm not stopping you, but I'm just saying maybe if you're new or beginning or trying something new or starting something different, then maybe sticking to a simpler or more composed reference picture is the way to go. At least that's what I think. For this, since it was a Japanese city and I do not know Japanese, I literally went on Google Translate, typed words in, saw the translation, and then wrote that out. Like sail, the thing that sails there, and then written above that, whatever that is in Japanese. That is literally the word sail in Japanese. Then I wrote, I think the Sony company, I translated that in Japanese. There was new, opening, shop, sale, and a bunch of other stuff. I don't remember what at this point, but I did go on Google Translate and I literally translated the words. Appreciate the effort, people. I didn't want to accidentally write something that meant the wrong thing, like meant something weird on my picture, so just safe-sidedly I stuck to real Japanese. Now I know how to write it. I do not know how to say anything in Japanese, but I know how to write it. Since in markers you can't really blend colors together, which is slightly frustrating sometimes, I had to obviously just stick the colors I had, innovate with those, and just see which ones work, which ones don't. Obviously understanding which colors should go together and which ones shouldn't. You can't have too much orange in one place. We learned that from my shoes when I put too much orange in one place. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to go check it out. The link is right there in the card. You need maybe clashing colors together, like orange and purple, or orange and blue, or maybe orange and yellow. Like some colors that are similar, not too similar, or just complete opposites altogether. Just make sure that there's color variation. That was something I really needed to make sure of here. I also kind of had to make sure of not pressing the marker too hard or putting too much pigment on the page, because then it would have come through to the other side. And since this sketchbook isn't really marker paper, some did go to the other side, but I had another piece of paper behind this page to stop the page after that from getting spoiled. I hope you got that, because I said paper and page like a billion times. Okay, so basically I had my page, then the paper behind it to stop the ink from getting through to the other side. I hope that made sense. I'm also outlining things as I go, because without me being able to see what the thing actually looks like, I wasn't able to visualize if it was gonna go well or not. Like, I had to keep outlining it at the same time to understand, okay, yes, it's going fine, things are on the right track, and it's not gonna turn out like a disaster. It's not gonna turn out a disaster like the old one. I finally organized my markers in a bit more of a proper way so I could see all the colors at once and I wasn't fishing through a big pile, because that's what was happening before. At least now I could see all the colors that I had. I don't actually have a proper marker pouch, which is like, you know, you can see the colors properly. but I've created a really nice big collection in this big pencil case. The pencil case that I have for my markers is pretty big. I didn't actually expect pencil cases to come in this size. My mom just gave it to me one day. She's like, oh wait, see, I found this huge pencil case. And I'm like, why do you keep huge pencil cases? And I'm happy she does, because otherwise I would have no place to store my markers. I wanted to pack as much detail as I could into this one piece, because I'm actively working to put more detail into my pictures, whether it's like more shadows and more highlights or just simply more detail in whatever form I can. I'm really trying to do it. My favorite part and the part I was looking most forward to in this whole picture was when I make the wires. I really do not know why, but I was very excited to make the wires because I felt like that would tie the whole piece together, make it look like a city, because cities and wires for some reason just seem to automatically connect in my head. Okay, so before I show you guys the final piece that is done now, this is one piece that I am really actually almost 100% happy with. I'm like 99.9% happy with this. That's rare. It's kind of, I do love all my pieces because obviously I put effort into them, but this particular one, I really love it, like a lot. So, 3, 2, 1. Yay. Happy. My brother said this looks like a sunrise, because he's like a morning person. I thought it's a sunset. Tell me in the comments below, is it a sunrise or sunset? He was right. In the morning, stuff is deserted, but in the night, the lights are on and everything. So, I don't know. Please do tell me what you think this scene looks like. Make sure to watch my previous videos. They'll be linked in the description, the card up there, and they've been linked in the card, previous parts of the video and stuff like that. And make sure to subscribe if you aren't already, because I do put out a video every single Sunday, and I have been doing so since October. It's been exactly 10 months since I started my channel. It's kind of cool. My uploading schedule might change in the coming weeks because school is starting again, but I will try to keep them as regular as possible. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Oh wait, before that, we need to see the previous failure, this one, and marvel at how amazing this looks in comparison to this. I'll let you guys enjoy that for a few seconds. If any of you actually like this one better, I don't know you. You're weird. Unsubscribe from this channel now. I'm serious, this is... Oh god. Yeah. That page in my this page in my sketchbook is going to get glued down or completely painted over because it does not deserve to be here. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. I will upload next week, so just, make sure to watch that one.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Bye.